Hey everybody, and welcome back to the channel. My name is Brendan, and I hope all of you guys are having a great morning, evening, no matter where you guys are from. And welcome back to another cryptocurrency full market analysis and breakdown, where we cover everything that's happening in the world of cryptocurrency, from Bitcoin to even all of the altcoins. We look at the chart and look at the news and analyze it and easily explain what is going on and what the future of cryptocurrency holds. Now, the markets today have definitely seen just a little bit of red. Most cryptocurrencies are down around 7 to 8 to 9%, depending on which ones you're looking at. Really aren't too many outliers out there for the most part. Some are down more, some are down a little bit less than others. But as we can see, as we're scrolling across the board, cryptocurrencies have turned just a little bit temporarily red. Now, if we go back to the chart, we can kind of see exactly what's happening over here with Bitcoin. It ended up breaking below that 50 EMA, or that 50 moving average, which at the end of the day doesn't matter a little bit. But I think the more important thing is that Bitcoin actually broke above this 50 EMA, which is what we were seeing. And I want to highlight this. Bitcoin breaking above this 50 EMA was significant, because this is the first time that Bitcoin broke above this actually since November of 2021. So this is still a pretty good sign of strength from the bulls, that we're breaking the first moving average in our line. Obviously, the next is going to be the 100 and then the 200 above that one on the daily time scale. But Bitcoin is testing this for the first time in nearly 4 months, which I do see as a potential sign of the bulls. Now, does this mean people are going to take this to the next level and maybe take it too far? Does that mean the bull market's back in and we're going straight up from here? I think it's way too early to say that. But I do see this as a sign of strength, and obviously the long-term strength of Bitcoin and the fundamentals right now are certainly stronger than ever. But we'll come back to more of the chart in just a second. Let's look at what's happening in the news, because we should hopefully be seeing Biden actually come out and issuing some crypto oversight, and we should be hearing about this executive order that has been getting hyped up for the last couple of weeks. I think a lot of people have been all ears waiting to hear when this is going to get released. And hopefully we're going to actually have an answer as to what he thinks he wants to do with the crypto market sometime in the next week or so, which, if I'm looking at my calendar down here, hopefully this is before the 26th or the 25th. We should at least have something from him. Moving onwards. Walmart. This one has to be probably the biggest article of the day. The Walmart board of directors says crypto's potential goes beyond financial services. And I quote, "It is clear that a gigantic shift is underway in digital currencies and financial services, and the application extends beyond the financial sphere." And this came from Tim Horton as he reported this to Blockworks. He also said major institutions and traditional banks are also engaging with crypto. Horton said, but it's clear this is a powerful and constructive technology with enormous growth potential over the next few years and even beyond that. So let's take and analyze that. We're talking about one of the head directors for Walmart, one of the biggest companies inside of the United States. And he is saying that this has enormous growth potential and future application beyond just being a financial service. Is he alluding to something? Is he alluding to maybe Walmart's going to start accepting cryptocurrency? We don't know yet, but it certainly doesn't sound like he's bearish at all. I would say it's quite the opposite. This guy seems like he is very, very bullish on cryptocurrency. Since he is Walmart's board director, I would imagine that this means that he is going to try to push cryptocurrency into Walmart in some way, shape, or fashion. Maybe it's just online payments, maybe it's just in-app payments, maybe it's not in store. We don't really know, but this does make me bullish in saying that we could potentially see crypto accepted at Walmart in the future in some way, shape, or fashion. Is that guaranteed? No, again, this is me speculating just a little bit here, but he certainly seems bullish by saying that it has enormous growth potential and talking about how major institutions and banks are engaging with this more and more every day. So if you're a fan of cryptocurrency, you're definitely going to like to see this reported. Probably another one of my favorite quotes from this is him actually saying that I'm fascinated by blockchain technology and its growing array of use cases. A gigantic shift is underway in digital currencies and financial services, and the applications extend beyond the financial sphere. So if that doesn't get you excited, and him talking about NFTs and NFTs being mentioned here, I'm not sure what will. He says he's a big believer, as we can see right down in here, and I could not agree more with him. Hopefully this would be a paradigm shift, where if Walmart comes out and starts saying that they're going to be accepting cryptocurrencies and this level of adoption happens, I would imagine a lot of competitors, small and big, maybe Target or Sam's Club or Costco, might come out and say, hey, if they're doing it, then we need to do it, and let's hop on this bandwagon train. And I wouldn't even say it's a bandwagon train at this point. I would say let's hop on the train that's already left the station, because that's where crypto's at now. Moving onwards. I think I got maybe just a little bit too excited about that one. But CoinDesk was reporting that the Canadian sanctions, or Canada is trying to sanction 34 different crypto wallets that are tied to the trucker Freedom Convoy. This includes Bitcoin, Ethereum, Litecoin, Monero, and Cardano addresses, and all of those are on the list. Now, we talked about this in the previous video, and I just want to say this, if this doesn't scare you, it should. People's bank accounts are being frozen, they're being sanctioned, and what's happening now is the Canadian government, and this is completely politics aside, this is just what's happening, because this is a completely politically free channel, but this does tie into the purpose of why cryptocurrencies were made. The Canadian government has gone to these financial firms and said you need to cease facilitating any transactions from these 34 crypto wallets that are tied to funding these protests. That is a scary thing, and what it does is it puts the financial services or the firms or the exchanges that are interacting with these people in a really hard spot, because now they're forced to say, do we want to work with the Canadian government on this and obey them, or do we want to essentially kill our reputation, shoot ourselves in the foot, because 99% of the people who come to cryptocurrency come to it as a hedge against their government's fiat currency, and they use it as a means of a safe haven to get away from fiat and to get away from the government. Not to always do bad things, but people like having a second form of money that they know that the government doesn't have control over, which is why a lot of people are in this, along with the technology. After the 2008 crash, that's why Bitcoin was created, is because there was a lack of trust in fiat currencies that were run by the government. And that's why Bitcoin was one of the core reasons why Bitcoin was created. That and inflation. And so are these exchanges going to shoot themselves in the foot and say, all of our people are here for this reason, but if we don't give the people on our exchanges any kind of safety, what will most likely happen is exactly what's happening in the banks. There's going to be a cash run. People are now going to banks in Canada because people's bank accounts were getting suspended. And sorry, I know I'm talking fast. We'll slow it down. People's bank accounts were getting suspended, and there was a cash run. People are trying to pull their cash out because they don't want their money to be locked away. And what I would imagine happen here is the same thing on an exchange level. If these exchanges start locking up people's accounts and start, it's hard because they need to work with the government in some way. But I think doing it in this fashion would get people really scared to use these certain exchanges in financial services. And I would imagine a lot of people, if those names got out of what services were doing this, I wouldn't feel safe holding my money on there at the end of the day. And I don't think a lot of other people would as well. So what I would imagine is, let's just say it was like, let's just make up, and say it was crypto.com. You'd have a lot of people, especially in Canada, going to crypto.com and withdrawing their money to a competitor's exchange. The company and the financial service doesn't want their money to leave and go to a competitor, and they certainly don't want to damage their reputation with the very people that is their entire client base. So, we'll see. It really is a hard situation. It's unfortunate, but this is why cryptocurrency was created, and the reason why I'm reporting on this and going through this length is because at the end of the day, we really haven't seen something like this happen. This is the reason why crypto was created, one of the big reasons. And now that one of these moments is here, how will cryptocurrency and the crypto markets respond to all of this going on? And that's what you need to keep your eye on. Again, doesn't matter what side of the spectrum that you're on. This is a significant event, and regardless of all that, keep your eye on it. Keep yourself informed. It doesn't matter if you're for up, down, left, right, oblique, side to side, whatever side you're on here. This is a big moment in the history of cryptocurrency. Maybe you're a bear and you want to see it go down. Keep yourself informed. Maybe you're a bull. Still keep yourself informed. This is a pretty significant event, along with what's happening over here in Walmart. Now, back to the idea. Crypto is spawning the most expensive adverts on Telegram. This goes back to the idea that cryptocurrency themed advertisement is on the rise. Cryptocurrency is on the rise. Fundamentally, it's growing stronger than ever, despite the price falling. This is a pretty cool, and I'll kind of just scroll through this as we're glancing over it, but cryptocurrency advertisement is definitely growing, especially on Telegram. A lot of people have become less and less interested with Facebook advertising as well, which is a little bit of a rabbit hole, but it's interesting to see Facebook advertising kind of beginning to see some hits. I know that they were also seeing hits with the amount of users on their platform, declining for one of the first times ever. So a lot is happening in the cryptocurrency space. Now let's go over to the chart here. Let's talk about this before we get into our last article, talking again about Mr. Warren Buffett and Charlie Munger, the man, the myth, the legends themselves. With cryptocurrency and everything that's happening at this level, we've talked about these moving averages. And with Bitcoin breaking through this, Bitcoin's in around a 30 to 35% range here. This is a $10,000 range where Bitcoin has been bouncing consistently in. Now, why is this significant? Because this was actually former support for almost the whole month of December. This was a support area where Bitcoin was bouncing time and time and time and time again until it fell through and used it as resistance and continued down to its next layer of support. So the idea here is we're saying, all right, well, what was formerly a very strong support line is now being tested as resistance along with the moving averages, which is what we're seeing, the 100 and the 200, which were touched on this Bitcoin one-day time scale. So now Bitcoin has a couple levels of resistance, and if the bulls want to take over here, they really do want to break above that and see price change. The situation that Bitcoin's in right now is that it's inside of this 30 to 35% range, in between $35,000 and $45,000, and it's chopping a lot. A lot of people are getting chopped up in here, especially day traders. And the one thing that I'm looking at is for a breakout either to the upside to get above these moving averages and above $45,000, or a breakdown below $35,000 to maybe new lows. But until that happens, there is a lot of chop. And one thing I will say that we're covering a lot more in depth in Crypt Nation. There's a link to that in the description down below. I go over all my technical analysis and a lot of this news before it even gets released to YouTube, sometimes days or even a week early. So if you're interested in that, definitely check out the link in the description down below for Crypt Nation. We also have a free conference coming up. It's going to have almost 50 different leaders inside of the cryptocurrency industry, and some of your favorite projects are going to be there. I'm really excited about it. Check those out. But needless to say, this is what I'm looking at with Bitcoin. I'm waiting to see really here what kind of chop continues to happen. Price is going to continue to be volatile. We talked about a squeeze and the fall off of volume in the last video, but now that we're looking at this, there really is just a definite range for Bitcoin. And until one of these two break, I'm kind of just watching and observing. I'm certainly doing a little bit of buying just because at the end of the day, Bitcoin's so far from its, I say so far, it's not really that far. We've seen a lot worse in the past, but Bitcoin from all-time high to the monthly low was down 52%. To where we're at right now, it's 42%, 41%. I'm confident buying Bitcoin at a discount here, and that's exactly how I view it. Now, is anything I'm saying legal, financial, or tax advice anyway? Absolutely not. None of this is financial advice, so don't take it like that. But this is just my opinion on the market. The long-term trend of cryptocurrency. Sometimes you just have to zoom out and see that this thing has the long-term uptrend. It always has. I think that for at least the foreseeable future, I don't really see cryptocurrency going away. I now see it as a market that is solidified its space in the industry. The stock market's down as well. Most markets are down right now. It's not just cryptocurrency. So I think crypto can recover. I think it's just a matter of time. And going back to this idea, I want to briefly touch on this because I was touching on it over in our Crypt Nation, or to some of our Crypt Nation people. But we're seeing this shift where even the most bearish people inside of cryptocurrency can become bulls. And I touched on this in the last video, but I want to reiterate it. With someone like Warren Buffett, a legendary investor in his own right, starting to sell off things like Visa and MasterCard so that he can invest $1 billion into a crypto-friendly bank. This is someone who has referred to Bitcoin as rat poison. This is something that I see as a shift. He is saying, all right, there's probably something here that I can't ignore anymore. Maybe this is more important that I give it credit for, and that has substance to it. So, keep your eye out. Other things like India. India is a country that we never thought would see cryptocurrency adopted, and here they are not only trying to create a national cryptocurrency, but also unbanning it for everyone to trade, with the exception that they pay taxes on it, which is reasonable. Also in the United States, you have states like Wyoming and Arizona and Colorado trying to let you pay for your taxes in cryptocurrency, essentially trying to make it a form of legal tender. So hopefully you did all enjoy the video. Again, across the board, fundamentals are great, despite price moving and chopping. I think it's just because there's a lot of uncertainty going on in the world right now, and the crypto markets are being tested as they always have been in the past, but they've always come out on top. So hopefully you did enjoy this video. If you did, make sure to hit that like and subscribe button. It does really help out the channel a lot. Drop a comment if you have any questions, and I'm more than happy to answer those as well. Be sure to check out all the links in the description down below. Again, we have that conference coming up. I highly advise that you guys attend it. It's completely free, no strings attached. It's just going to be really cool, and I'm actually one of the hosts of it, so I get to interview a lot of the leaders in the industry of crypto. You're going to probably find some new platforms and some new projects that you never heard of before, or maybe ones that you've never used that are going to interest you. So lots of cool stuff coming. I hope you did enjoy this video, and if you did, hit that like button, hit that subscribe button, and I will see you all in the next video.